Hi, fourth graders. For lesson 4 today, we are going to learn about the balance that is needed in nature and in different ecosystems. So we have some vocabulary to go over today. Our first word is balance. It says, in nature, the maintenance of populations in the proper amounts and conditions. So there needs to be the right number of different types of organisms, and there also needs to be the right conditions, the right weather, the right anything that's in the ecosystem needs to be proper for that specific ecosystem. Wildlife are animals that live in nature. A safari is a trip taken to see or hunt wild animals. A reserve is an area of land where plants and animals are given special protection, so they're safe there. A herd is a large group of animals. A wildebeest is a large African antelope or deer-like creature with long, curving horns. An acacia is a small tree that has yellow or white flowers. Rely on means to depend on or to need. To upset, in this case, is not like to make someone sad. Upset means to interfere with, to mess with. A gazelle is an antelope or a deer-like creature that runs very fast. And then extinction is a condition in which a plant or animal dies out completely. So if an animal species or a plant species is no longer around, it has died out, it has been extinct. So we are going to read chapter 4 today, and that is called The Balance of Nature. This photo was taken in Kenya, a country in East Africa. Kenya is famous for the wildlife on its grasslands. When people visit Kenya, they often go on safari to see the animals. A large portion of Kenya is part of the Mara National Reserve. A reserve is a protected area of land. People are not allowed to build towns or major roads there. The land is set aside for nature, especially the animals. Most of the Mara is open grassland, known as a savanna. The land is basically flat with gentle rolling hills. There are some trees and bushes growing in the savanna, but it is mostly grass. In many ways, the savanna ecosystem is like any other ecosystem. There are food chains with producers, consumers, and decomposers. And this is a photograph they were referring to. It says a savanna is basically flat with gentle rolling hills. Huge herds of wildebeests, zebras, and other consumers eat the savanna grass. There is plenty of grass for everyone. This also means there is plenty of meat for the lions. The Mara is known for its many types of acacia trees. Giraffes like to eat acacia leaves. Some ants in the Mara like to eat certain acacia seeds. The ants carry the seeds underground. They eat the fruit that surrounds the seed, but they do not hurt the seed itself. Instead, they leave it there in the ground where they ate it. That's how some acacias spread their seeds. This is another example of a way in which organisms rely on each other in an ecosystem. For their photograph, the caption says, giraffes like to eat acacia leaves. Each living thing in a healthy ecosystem can survive with help from other living things. The living things depend on each other. Of course, not all living things survive for very long. Many critters are eaten by bigger animals. Most seeds do not sprout, but enough will survive to make sure life continues in the ecosystem. The savanna's grass eaters would probably be happy if all the big cats disappeared. However, if all the big cats disappeared from the Mara, this would upset the natural balance in the food chain. Cheetahs and other predators hunt the weak, sick, and young members of the herd. As a result, the strong animals in the herd tend to survive and have healthy young. No gazelle wants to be eaten by a lion or cheetah, but in an ecosystem, the predators help keep the population from getting out of control. If there were too many gazelles, then all gazelles might have trouble finding enough food. Cheetahs help make sure there aren't too many gazelles. The grasslands of the Mara National Reserve seem to stretch on forever. It's hard to imagine anything bad ever happening to upset the ecosystem of this vast, beautiful land. But if nothing bad ever happened, then the government of Kenya would not have bothered making this a reserve. Many animals were illegally hunted to near extinction. The people of Kenya had to set the land apart in order to protect the ecosystem and all the animals in it. All right, so our comprehension questions today. Number 1, what is a reserve? Remember, go back. It's one of those bolded vocabulary words, or go back and listen to my vocabulary words I went over. Number 2 is true or false. There are many different food chains in the Mara National Reserve. And number 3, if one part of the food chain disappears forever, the rest of the food chain is not affected. True or false? Remember, go back in the text, find the answers, use context clues and all those great strategies that we talk about in the classroom. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.